Alex, as you know, I've been coaching people now for many, many years, and I love helping people to build successful businesses. Throughout the years, I have helped countless people. I don't even know how many people I've helped any at this point anymore to build businesses that were doing very well. But when I first started helping people with building businesses, um, they were taking off. They were building these great businesses. They were starting to make a lot of money. And then I started to see something I didn't like, and that was things were falling apart at home. Their marriages were falling apart, their families were falling apart. And I really wrestled with that. I had this real conviction that I couldn't keep on teaching people how to build a business if they were going to fail at home. Success in the office is awesome, but if you're failing at home, what good is it? And, I started seeing that happening too much. And the reality of the situation is when I would first start talking to people about why they wanted to be successful in business, they always said because they wanted to give their family a better life. They wanted for things to be better at home. They wanted to have different experiences. But for so many, it's the exact opposite. And, to your point, many entrepreneurs find themselves getting caught up in spending so much time building the business that the price is actually paid by the thing that where they really want to be successful. They want the business to be successful so they can be more successful at home, but they sacrifice home in order to build a business. And so the whole idea behind, most of the things I've been doing for the last, 15 or so years is really helping people to build a successful business, but also to be successful at home and not to sacrifice their marriage, to sacrifice their family while chasing the next dollar or the next deal or the bigger business.
Yeah. And isn't it ironic that, because you're so right, I've had so many even coaching calls and conversations with friends, and they say that they're doing it for their family, but yet what they're actually doing is driving a wedge between themselves and their family because it's so lopsided. They're spending so much time over here that they're saying, well, I'm doing it because one day I want to be able to do this. And one of the things that you've helped me see clearly throughout the last several years is that you can have both. You just have to be very intentional and strategic about how you do it. And that's really what I'm hoping people latch onto right off the bat here on the podcast, is that you can have both. You don't have to sacrifice family and marriage to have a healthy business, and you certainly don't have to sacrifice your business to have a healthy family and marriage. So with that being said, how do you kind of coach people through when you have conversations and coaching calls with people? How do you help them start to unwind if they're lopsided, if they're spending so many hours over here and they're honest with themselves and saying, hey, my marriage is suffering, or I don't spend enough time with my kids or with my family? How do people start to put a framework or parameters in place to continue to succeed in business, but start to pay focus and the right energy and attention to their family, to their loved ones?
Throughout the years with LifeNair, what we've helped people to do is really develop that life vision and to have that vision be what's guiding them. That's the goal. And so what happens is this: whenever people start a business, really the goal of the business is to make money, to do more, and for it to start producing a lot of wealth. But if the reason we go into business in the first place is so that we can have freedom and live and experience a better life, that should be the goal of the business. All too often, we sort of put this sort of contingency in place that when the business makes a lot of money, then I can live the better life. But the reality is we should be living our lives right now, and the business should be designed to help us live and experience the life. Money is just a tool that comes out of the business to help enhance that life, but we need to guard and protect the life from day one as we build the business.
When you get clear on what your why is and what's important to you, ask yourself if your actions and your words are aligned with what you're feeling, right? And for me, it's, this, I've been disjointed at times. I've said, hey, I'm doing this for my family, and marriage and fatherhood is most important, but yet does my calendar and bank account reflect that? Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts? Because I think a lot of people, if they're honest with themselves, are probably in a place right now where they can relate to what I just shared, where they say family is most important, but if I look at their calendar and where they're spending their time in their bank account, it's not aligned with those words.
just want to encourage anybody who is listening, we never know when our last day is going to be. And so I would hope that that would give all of you some urgency to, when you sit here and say this phrase, like, I'm doing it for my family, I think there's a seed of that is true. There's a seed of that we all believe. We all believe that we have these noble things where we are doing it for our family, but we never involve our family in that decision-making process. We just expect them to sacrifice while we go and build a business. And again, it really just boils down to that if we are doing it for our family, the goal of the business should be to enhance our family, not make money so that someday we can have a better life with our family. And it's just such a subtle little shift. But the reality of the situation, to the point that you were making, is when you put your priorities in order and things are getting better at home, the business benefits from that.
Mm-hmm.
You're a better business person. You're a better business operator. You make better decisions. You take on the right deals. It really just helps you out when everything at home is just clicking and going along. And I think that anybody who's listening to this, when things aren't going well at home, we're not at our best in the office. We might want to sit in the office all day. We might not want to go home and face what's going on there. And we might work more hours and try to get more done. But the reality of the situation is we've got that weight that we're carrying and we're just not at our best. But when everything at home is going well, man, we can come on into the office and we can perform a whole lot better.